Okay, Jim, you've been keeping the offense a little bit of a secret. Any secrets you prefer to share right now about the offense?
Well, we're not going to throw the ball quite as many times, I think, as we have in the past. And we've talked about trying to improve our running game, but we had so much success with Riley Stinner and that group that, I think we just, once you get to where you've had success, it's one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it type deals. But we probably hurt ourselves by trying to be too much of a pass-happy football team and too much pressure on the O-line, too much pressure on the skill guys. And I think last year we found out how important a guy like Mike Campanera is to you. When Mike got hurt in the Duke game, we really lost our ability to move the football and score points. And so we've got to get away from counting on just one or two guys to get the job done. We've got to include the other guys in the offense.
So I think there was some soul searching with what you have, the talent. You were looking at the talent, and you said, what can we accomplish offensively with the guys we have?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we start with the offensive line. I think we've really put those guys in a bind because we've been so, prone to throw the football that we get every kind of goofy blitz known to man. We get every kind of coverage known to man. We're getting stuff that most people don't see on a regular basis. And so we never knew when we went into Saturday what kind of blitz combinations and coverage combinations we were going to get. Put a lot of pressure on the O-line. So we need to let those guys just come off the football a little bit more, make it easy on them. I think we've got great potential with our wide receiver core, but by definition, potential means you haven't done it yet. So these guys have potential, but they haven't done it yet. And hopefully we'll have somebody that steps up that takes some pressure off Mike.
You talked about Campanero. You're not going to throw as much. That means you just have to find ways to get him the ball, even if you're not throwing.
Yeah, I think the thing for us is we'd like to get back to, when we were first at Wake Forest, we handed the ball a lot to our receivers, to John Stone, Fabian Davis, whether it be a speed sweep, orbit sweep, whether we're reading an option play and pitching the football to them. So with Cam, really what we'd like to do is get the ball to him as many times as possible. We've got to be kind of careful that it's not always him because he could wear down, but I do think that we got to find other ways to get Cam the ball than just throwing it to him. And he wants to get to where we'll let him throw it more. So that might be a way to complete more passes.
Coach Bob Holliday, more and more programs are emphasizing the non-offensive touchdown. That's something you've emphasized at Wake Forest dating back to 2007 when you had a phenomenal 10. You have not come close to that total the last couple of years. Is that, and I'm sure you still stress it, is that a function of personnel, luck, and what would it mean to your success this year to get some more non-offensive touchdowns?
Well, I think it's you've got to start with personnel first, but we got to look at ourselves as coaches, and we work really hard on trying to force turnovers and be an opportunistic defense. I think when you've got guys like Aaron Curry and Alfonso Smith, you tend to take the ball away from people more. And I think we've got a few of those guys on our defensive football team this year. I think we've got some guys that can take the ball away from you. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we improved our turnover total on defense last year from the year before quite a bit, if I remember right. And I think our best years with the Deacs have been when we forced over 30 turnovers. And so we're hopeful to get back to that this year.
J.B. Rich, News 14 Carolina and Time Warner Cable. Coach, good to see you again.
Hey,
you talk a lot about getting a running game going and helping out, the passing game and wanting to, fluctuate towards that a lot more. Josh Harris is one of those players who's dealt with a lot of injuries and has kind of been viewed as a player who hasn't reached his potential. This is his final year. This is his final go at it. What are you expecting out of him to help you in that area of the run game?
Well, I think we've got to make the decision that that's going to be a staple of our offense and not just a mixer. And I talked last year about our need to run the football more effectively, and I think that was more of a wish than a focus. And now it's a focus. I think that's something, whether it's Josh or DeAndre or Will Height or maybe a freshman coming in and move Dominic Gibson running back in the spring. Somebody has to step up and be a quality running back for us. I think one of the things that we would like is we would like to get back to a Chris Barkley kind of guy, and I'm not talking about ACC Player of the Year kind of guy. I'm just talking about a guy that we could go in a game and think we'd hand him the ball 25 times. We haven't had that in a long time, a guy that could take that many handoffs and still be standing at the end of the game. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the guy. It might be Josh Harris, might be somebody else, but we got to find somebody that's going to carry the load if we're going to run the football better.
Kenny Beck, WXII. Coach, for a long time, incoming freshmen knew that the odds were quite good that they would be redshirted, and the odds were also quite good they probably weren't going to see the field much as a redshirt freshman or even as a sophomore. Given the injuries last year and given perhaps some philosophical changes, might we see more true freshmen taking the field for you this year? And can you give us any idea if it might be early on your radar to actually buck that trend a little bit?
You know, Kenny, you and I have talked before about the redshirt policy and what we've tried to do. Really, my only thought is give you the 4 best years of football I can. I don't want to have you be the tight end on the field goal team and waste a whole year of eligibility. So my coaches can promise me that the freshmen they're going to put on the field is going to get about 15, 20 snaps on offense or defense, maybe more, but at least that, and then play a bunch of special teams. I have no problems putting those guys on the field. What we did last year that really hurt us is we were very cautious and trying to save a redshirt year for those guys and let them play their 4 older years as their best years. And toward the end of the year, our special teams were so bad, and we probably had at least 4 or 5 freshmen that were on the shelf that we couldn't pull a shirt off that late that would have really made us better. And I think if you had one position right now that we're going to really focus on, it's linebacker. I think, talked earlier, I think the depth of linebacker is going to be an issue for us. And I think we'll put 4 really good ones on the field, but beyond that, we're going to need some help. So, if you're a freshman right now, and especially if you're playing linebacker, you might be on the field for the Deacs sooner than you expected.
Coach Mark Larson, Wine at Syracuse. 2-part question, really. Your players yesterday talked about their eagerness of going back to the Carrier Dome after what happened there a couple years ago. Can you share your thoughts? Are you as eager to get back there, part 1 and part 2? What about the Dome in comparison with other ACC venues will make it hard for teams to adjust to?
Well, Mark, in answer to the first part, no. I'm not looking as forward to it as they are, simply because I know they'll be good. It's a good football program, and they're going to have a good football team. And regardless of where we played them, going on the road and playing Syracuse wouldn't be a picnic. But I think the Dome is something that will take some getting used to. Hopefully, our guys that are seniors this year, maybe our juniors, had an opportunity to play up there, and they've got a little bit more knowledge of what's going on when we go back up there. But it's different, something we haven't done before. It's the first time I think we've played the Dome, and we played pretty good. We just kind of lost it there in the 4th quarter when Tanner got hurt. So I thought we didn't play poorly. We didn't play great in the 4th quarter, but I thought we played okay. We had a chance, to win. I think what they probably feel like is they need to redeem themselves a little bit. I think they feel like they had a win, kind of almost in our grasp and let it go. My feeling is Syracuse took it, and that could be motivation too. But it's a tough place to go play, not just because it's the Carrier Dome, but because Syracuse is tough. And, it's just a different environment, I tell you what will really hurt teams coming in there, if you've got too many young kids playing, that will be a distraction. Older players got a chance to focus a little bit better, but I think that would be my biggest concern if I was a team going to Syracuse for the first time. Having your young guys go in there with focus would probably be the biggest challenge.
Hey Coach, Jim Connors from News 14 Carolina and Time Warner Cable. Good to see you again.
Hey Jim.
Before I get to the question, I just want to tell you that every long drive and closest to the pin seemed to have Steve Schutt's name on it. So I don't know how much work you've been doing.
Well, he's an old baseball player. We figured he threw it rather than hit it.
I just figured something was up there. But anyway, your kids yesterday alluded to having to do a little in-house check themselves to get everybody all on the same page last year. Is that over with? Where did it come from? And are you comfortable and confident with the cast that you're bringing in this season?
Well, Jim, I'm really, honestly, kind of an old school guy. I'm really more of Neanderthal, old block and tackle guy. You know, let's go get after him. But our seniors came to me after last season, and I think there was a little panic going on because I don't think they wanted to see their senior year go the way last year went. So to their credit, you know, they want more discipline. They want to have a bigger role in taking care of our football team. And it starts with being a good role model. You know, I think they have to be the guys that are positive all the time, that don't have any negative thoughts running through their head, and especially coming out of their mouth. And they've got to set an example in the weight room and in practice and in every way, their classroom behavior, their social behavior, all those type things. So I think our senior class right now is a little bit on a mission. I think they understand that as coaches, we're going to be around our guys about 3 hours a day, maybe 4 in August. But for the most part, our players have to control the discipline of the football team. I'm not going to go back and live in the locker room with those guys. So if your seniors don't take care of business, then there's only leadership going on for about 4 hours a day. The other 20, the team's got a chance to go in any direction. I think our seniors feel a great responsibility now to make sure that we're focused and staying on track.
Jim Grobe, head coach of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, thanks for coming.